The boss is staring at me very intently. I haven't figured out if it's a supervisory stare, if it's a look of love, or if it's something maybe sinister. So we're just going to move ahead with this, and hopefully at the end everything comes out okay for me. Tuning in for this week's What's Happening. That's where I tell you about some interesting things I have found out that are going on throughout the world. Now, I always have my disclaimer. I'm only one person. I don't get to read as much as I used to, so I am 100% certain that I have missed things that are happening around the world. Please don't take offense to it. I wish I did know everything. I believe that's called being omnipotent. But I do not, so it's not on purpose or to slight anybody. So if there's something going on this week that you think I should know about, definitely let me know. I'll tell you how to do that on the end of this video. If it's still going on next week, I will talk about it then. If not, I will put it on the list for next year. But before we get started with that, if this is your first time here, welcome. I'm Gretchen, the Tipsy Travel Gal. I am a licensed esthetician and a travel agent, and it is my goal to eat, drink, and spa my way around the world. Obviously, my plan is to bring you along these journeys with me, show you some really cool stuff to do, some really interesting sights to see, and of course, try some delicious food and drink. My hope is that that's going to inspire you to travel, whether that be domestic or an international trip. That sounds like something interesting for you. Please consider subscribing to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you're wondering how, and believe me, this is actually my third career change. Wondering how I went to computer programmer / trainer to esthetician to travel agent, I'll be including my GoFundMe in the description of this video, and that kind of covers like the basics of it, how I got to where I'm at, how I'm trying to move forward, and if you have some spare change, I would appreciate it if you could donate as well. Let's get into what's happening this week, and let's get it started. Now, this first event really intrigues me. It is Julumination, and that is at Yomiuri in Tokyo. Now, Yomiuri is the largest amusement park in Tokyo. It sits about an hour outside of like the center of Tokyo. I mean, you couldn't have a complex this big in Tokyo, so it's not Tokyo proper, but it's the Tokyo area. Now, it starts on October the 19th and runs all the way through April 7th, 2024. Now, Yomiuri is just like any other basic amusement park. It's divided into like different areas. One of the most intriguing one to me is Gujoba. This part of the park is a series of factories that represent all of the major industries of Japan. And in each one of these factories, you learn a little bit of something about these industries, and you learn about engineering and production while having fun. For example, if you go into the automobile factory, there you can learn engineering, build your own car, and race it. But of course, that's not necessarily what this amusement park is about. That's just one little area of it. So the park is open year-round. The attractions are open dependent on the weather and the season that they're in. All of the areas have your typical amusement park rides, and of course they have gigantic roller coasters, the biggest being the Bandit. There's a botanical gardens, there's a giant Ferris wheel that not only has amazing views of the entire park, but also the Tokyo skyline in the distance. There's bungee jumping, there's a sea lion show. There are go-karts, there's an arcade, there's your typical carnival games. And of course, don't forget, laser tag. Now, as I said, the park is open throughout the year, but it kind of morphs into different things depending upon the season. For example, during the spring, which is cherry blossom season, they celebrate Sakura. And they turn the park into a place where you can come and view the cherry blossoms change. During the summer, all the gigantic fountain areas are transformed into pools. There's a lazy river and, of course, water slides. And then autumn through spring is Julumination. What is Julumination, you ask? Well, that is where they decorate the park with millions of jeweled lights. And I was initially going to say thousands, but when I saw the scope of these lights, no, it's millions, definitely. On top of that, they have huge lighted fountain shows. All of the roller coasters, including the Bandit, are illuminated as well. And they run as long as the weather allows. I mean, quite frankly, this looks just amazing. It's listed as one of the places to go see Christmas lights in Japan during the holiday season. But the great thing is that unlike the holiday season, it's for a very long span of time. So you're not just having to go like November and December. You can go starting now all the way through next April and get to see these amazing jeweled lights. Now, getting into the park, obviously you need tickets. Now, you can reserve and pay for them online. There is a site that's translated into English for you. All the prices are in yen, though. So there is actually a lot of different ways that you can enter this park. So you can just go into the park to look around. That means, of course, you can't ride any rides, but you can do that. However, you can ride rides a la carte. So let's say you decide to go in just to walk around and you just have to ride the Bandits. You can pay at the Bandit to ride it. Obviously, if you're thinking that you might ride a ride, it's definitely way cheaper just to get an entrance ticket with an unlimited ride pass. There's also lockers that they have locker bays near the entrance where you can lock up your belongings or things that you purchase for a fee. Obviously, if you're staying in Tokyo and you don't have a car, you can take the train there. It's an hour train ride from the center of Tokyo to the station for Yomiuri Land. From there, you can either walk to the park or you can spend $4 and take a gondola ride directly into the park station. Now, if you are driving, there is parking there for a fee. So this seems totally amazing to me. Honestly, I probably would go there for cherry blossom season and then I can kind of catch the end of the lights. This just seems like an amazing thing to see in person. Moving on. Something else I want to see in person, the Barbados Food and Rum Festival. That also starts October the 19th, but it's just around for the weekend. It ends on Sunday the 22nd. Now, this is a yearly festival that is used to mark the tradition of rum making in Barbados. It is made with local sugar, and the average alcohol content is 40%. So, it is noted as a culinary escapade, and I will be honest with you, I am not going to disagree with that. Now, this is kind of like a festival that's spread out amongst a whole bunch of locations. There's a lot of hotels that are hosting different events. There are also restaurants that are hosting different events. And all of these events you have to pay for individually. Now, starting on Thursday night, you have Oyston's Under the Stars, and that is being held at Oyston's Fish Restaurant, which is a very popular and well-known restaurant for fish in Barbados. It features a huge menu with Bahan grilled fish and live entertainment. And of course, rum. Now, I couldn't find anywhere where you had to buy tickets to Oyston's Under the Stars, so I'm assuming you just go and pay for the food that you eat, because everything else that had tickets for purchase, you had to buy the tickets. Now, Friday morning and moving into the afternoon is the celebrity chef demos. It is spread over 3 different resorts, and you do have to buy tickets to each demo. I think they may be running concurrently, so I think you could only go to one of them. There were still some tickets left for some of those celebrity chefs. Then you get to Friday night, which is the rum route. They call this a moving party. You get a rum passport with different locations and different stamps. You go from place to place. Your entertainment follows with you, so there's some live music that travels along with you. Also, some of the locations have their own live music. There's rum tastings, distillery tours, cocktail workshops. Just to name a few, tickets are required. Now, if you manage to survive the rum route, on Saturday at 4 a.m. is the Rise and Rum. This is where the dress code is you have to wear yellow, and you go at 4 a.m. to watch the sun rise and have an amazing all-inclusive breakfast and rum party on the beach. Hair of the dog, right? There is a ticket that is required for this event as well. Saturday afternoon kind of gears now towards kids. They do encourage this to be a family-friendly event. Obviously, I would not be bringing them on the rum route, nor would I be bringing them to the Rise and Rum. But Saturday afternoon is the Bahan Fair. There's an alcohol-free kids zone as well as alcohol for the adults. There's a shopping, there's a market, there's entertainment, and a ticket is required to enter the fair. That Saturday afternoon is the Junior Chef Cook-Off Series. A group of 12 young individuals get trained by a celebrity chef, and then they go head-to-head, kind of like MasterChef Junior and Chopped Junior style, until we have a single winner. This is actually going to be filmed and it's going to be on television in Barbados. But the closing ceremonies are the most interesting. On Sunday night is the Liquid Gold Feast. It is a black tie event, so black tie is required. It goes from 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. It closes out the festival. You basically get to eat and drink all night. There are 8 chefs. There are 5 mixologists. This looks like just an amazing party. And of course, tickets required. The only one I really couldn't find a price on was the rum route because it is sold out and they didn't have it listed anywhere else. Rise and Rum, that is also sold out. And I'm pointing out the sold out ones because I think that if this is something you want to put on your radar for next year, you're going to want to buy early because I don't know how quickly these tickets sell, but they are sold out. When you're looking for some place to stay that has multiple locations, the bulk of the events are happening in the Christchurch parish. If you go to the Barbados Food and Rum Festival website, they have a list of resorts that are participating with specials, but really any of the resorts in Barbados and Christchurch will probably be just fine. So that's it for this week's What's Happening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider giving a like and subscribing to my channel. As I said before, if I've missed something that you'd like included or you want to ask me a question, you can always comment down below. Or I am the Tipsy Travel Gal on all of the social media sites, and you can find me there and either direct message me or comment on any of my posts. Last but not least, you can go to tipsytravelgal.com, and if you look at the top and go all the way to the right, there is a contact me page where you can send me an email. Again, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye.